You are now looking at the new reality for gold and silver. And I'm not just talking about the expanded gold to silver ratio. There's much more to it than just that. Let's talk about it in this video as we explore. The gold to silver ratio has now widened above 100 to 1 yet again. It mimics what we saw back during March of 2020. But nonetheless, it's a little different circumstance here now. But in reality, the impetus was in place long before even March of 2020 for this reality that we have to face with gold compared to silver. It's just much more profound right now. And there's a lot of different reasons behind that. But first, I want to get into a comment that was given to us by Brandon S. here at the channel that kind of sums up something that I've been talking about for quite a while, and a reality that we have to face with regards to silver compared to gold. And part of it really is right here on your screen. You're looking at it right now. It's not just these 102 ounces of silver being traded for every ounce of gold right now. And by the way, there's going to be volatility in the markets. We're going to see it with gold and silver, with the Dow Jones, the dollar index, all of it. It's going to be bouncing around. As I record this video, it's before the markets open. In fact, we're going to watch the markets as they open tonight. And in fact, actually, every Sunday night, we watch the precious metal markets. So I hope you will join me for that live stream. It's going to be a very interesting live stream indeed. But during the dips, and especially during the wild dips, it's a good opportunity to take advantage to enhance your dollar cost averaging. This is what I refer to as enhanced dollar cost averaging, where you maybe buy a little bit more silver than gold right now because of the wider gold to silver ratio. Summit Metals is a sponsor of the channel. Check them out to see if they have deals that are right for you for the product that you're looking for. Check out summitmetals.com. They're big institutional buyers also making their way into the markets right now, taking advantage, and it is being shown over at Summit Metals' website with the bullion reserves. So check out that tab to see what's being sold there. So Brandon S. made a comment on my channel that kind of sums up what I've been talking about. And really, in a sense, the gold to silver ratio is a distraction, as he says. The real key here is that silver has rising industrial uses. In fact, well over 10,000 uses in industry right now. And that's kind of what this bar represents, industrial grade silver. That silver physically is in the form of these 1,000 ounce bars. That's the only form that silver comes in that is considered good delivery, a high purity rate. 999 plus. Some of it's a little bit less, but usually that it's over 99% silver. And these 1,000 ounce bars are traded and they are utilized and shaped in for the industrial uses and the biomedical uses and everything related to industry, science, technology. 10,000 uses strong, and there's something very powerful about that. It is the most diverse metal on the planet, folks. No other metal comes close. Obviously, metals like iron and copper are used much more widely. Same thing with aluminum, but they don't have as diverse of applications, which means there's a lot of complexity in the silver market, and it's being driven two ways from Sunday, even from within those purposes within the silver market. And you look at the market cap of silver compared to gold, and you look at the complexity of how small the market is and how easily it can turn one direction or another. And some people call that suppression of silver's price. But I look at it more as just how leveraged and the market is, and how much of it is expanded upon these derivatives, and they continue to widen and they fluctuate, but nonetheless it is a reality now that we have to look at it in a different way as a safe haven. And so the key of that the silver has rising industrial uses, so now when the market goes down, it goes down big. It's not the safe haven that it once was. However, Brandon is very careful here. He's not saying it's not a safe haven. because the long-term trend for silver has been and will likely remain positive. Just don't count on it to save you from market downturns and volatility. Hold long-term and don't expect miracles. And that really does sum up in a different way than I've been saying, and I think a profound way, that you have to hold on to it. You have to have those diamond hands. That's exactly what it's about. You know, you've heard the terms from the silver squeeze movement, ape strong. This is the time to be ape strong with regards to silver. With regards to gold, well, if you've held on to gold, you've done very well even during the volatility. And yes, gold has suffered a bit from this latest downturn, but not nearly as much as silver, obviously, hence why the gold to silver ratio is so high right now. And, it's likely going to stay in this area for a while, and then once there is a recovery, a consolidation, it's going to narrow some. But the new reality for gold and silver is higher gold to silver ratios from here on out. Now, we've seen that play out, obviously, over the course of the months and even years, where there was a normal gold to silver ratio. Many people think it should be around 60 to 1, even 50 to 1, or somewhere in that range. But for me, I think it is much higher, between 75 and now 80 to 1. I was saying between 70 and maybe 75, but I think we're going to see that gold to silver ratio average continue to increase. That, my friends, is the new reality for silver and gold. But it is, in a sense, a distraction when you think about it. Because of the widening of the difference between the two markets, yes, they're both precious metals. They're both money as really allocated and talked about in the Bible over 400 times. But also Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution codifies gold and silver as money, and states are now making laws to recognize them as such, legal tender. And I think that is an extremely powerful thing with regards to gold and silver. So be encouraged by this, because I think in the long run, we should not just look at the gold to silver ratio. We should look at them individually and separate and apart more often than not. Yes, this channel will continue to talk about the gold to silver ratio, but only in so much as the market conditions and what they may represent from any move from one day, 1 week, 1 year to the next. But one thing is for sure is that a silver, independent from gold, if you are a pure silver stacker, which, by the way, I encourage you to buy gold as well, to diversify from within the precious metal space, and you can also diversify within silver itself. There are some collectible versions. There are different types of silver you can buy. Not all silver is created equally in that regard, but nonetheless, silver in and of itself as a baseline will preserve your wealth, but it's just going to take a little bit longer. It's going to take a little bit more strategy. There are ways to stack silver in the wrong way. There's the wrong ways to do silver, more so now than ever before. And there's a point in time during the life of this channel where I may have said earlier on, there's really no wrong way to stack silver. But that is not the case anymore. I did a video not terribly long ago talking about one of the biggest mistakes that somebody has made in buying silver. It can't happen. There is absolute total risk on buying regular bullion in the market. And so you have to understand and find ways to mitigate that risk, which means, in a sense, that in some ways, stacking silver can almost be as strategic as you would with any investment out there. And of course, I always tell people not to think of silver as an investment. But in some ways, we have to act like investors when we're buying the physical bullion because of the risk that are entailed from it. Risk that you don't see as much as you would with gold. I recently bought an older pre-33 gold coin for spot price. I never thought I'd see that day, but indeed it was the case. Silver has higher premiums in comparison as a percentage, even for regular stacking silver. It's not very often you see spot deals out there, although they are there. And channel sponsor Some of Metals has them as well for new customers, 5 ounces at spot. But this is the reality we have to face ourselves with silver, which means it's going to take some time to recover those losses. And so of that could be implemented whenever you make your buy. So when you make your buy of silver, you're immediately losing because of the premiums you pay and the potential for the market to take a downturn. And so if the market turns down, then not only have you lost your premium, but you've lost with the spot price. And that can happen overnight. And it happens overnight, even when you do make a purchase with that premium that you're not going to get back when you're going to sell at your local coin shop or from an online dealer, which is why holding is your friend. The longer you hold, the better off you're going to be. And the more patient you are, the more you persevere and persist, silver is going to do what it has done for thousands of years. And what is that? Preserve your wealth. Yeah, I still believe in that. Yes, I do. And by the way, I'm still bullish on silver for the year. That has not changed. Could I be right? Could I be wrong? Either of those could come true. I was right one time on silver in my year-end price prediction. I was just short last year of 9 cents of calling where silver is going to be by the end of the year. We're going through essentially a bloodbath right now in the silver market especially. It's getting hurt like everything else. But be patient, folks. Hang in there. And I hope you will join me tonight for the live stream and every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time so we can see what's going on with the silver price and how it's going to affect the markets and everything else. So with that being said, I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch this video and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.